The House will come to order. Members' Day prayer will be led by Alex Johnson. She serves as president of FFA and the guest of Chairman Fincher.
Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for the many things you have blessed us with in this life. We thank you for allowing us to live in a nation where we can serve and worship you freely. Today, we pray that you place a hand of protection over everyone in attendance and that our thoughts and actions be done in accordance to your will. Most of all, dear Lord, we pray that we are forgiven of our shortcomings, and we thank you for sending your only begotten Son to die on the cross and save us of our sins. In Jesus' holy name I pray, amen.
Amen. Members, today's pledge will be given by Charlotte Bell. She is a 10th grader at Evangelist Christian School in Shelby County.
Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, call roll.
Mr. Speaker, Albright, Baker, Barnes, Bedsole, Blackshear, Bolton, Boyd, Bracy, Brinyard, Brown, Butler, Carnes, Chestnut, Clark, Klaus, Collins, Colvin, Crawford, Daniels, Ellis, England, Ensler, Estes, Faulkner, Fiddler, Gavan, Gray, Hall, Hammett, Harrison, Hassel, Hendricks, Hill, Hulk Jones, Hollis, Hulsey, Hurst, Ingram, Jackson, Jones, Keel, Kirkland, Lamb, Lands, Lawrence, Lee, Lipscomb, Lomax, Lovern, Marcus, McCampbell, McClammy, Mooney, Moore M, Moore P, Morris, Myricks, Oliver, Paramore, Pascal, Pettis, Pringle, Rafferty, Reynolds, Ream, Rigsby, Robbins, Robertson, Ross, Sellers, Sells, Shaver, Shaw, Shiree, Simpson, Smith, Sorrells, Stodhagen, Standridge, Starnes, Stringer, Stubbs, Tillman, Travis, Treadaway, Underwood, Wadsworth, Warren, Whit, Wharton, Wilcox, Wood R, Yarborough.
The 72 members of answer roll. Quorum is present. The House is now ready to transact business. The chair recognizes Representative Sellers for special recognition.
Mr. Speaker, I've moved to suspend the rules for privileges for the guests of Dr. Stewart and for consideration of a time-sensitive resolution.
Any objections? Hearing no objections, the rules are suspended. Representative Sellers, you're further recognized.
Today, we want to honor this lady who is what I call the GOAT of pediatricians. She's been a pediatrician for a number of years. I'm not going to say her age, but she was my pediatrician. But she has the only sick baby daycare where she was charged from the state to write the regulations for. Also, her efforts for mission hugs for our special needs kids. And so she come from a little town called Edgewater, Alabama, a coal miner's daughter. And here we are today. Mr. Speaker, I move for the adoption and ask for the resolution to be read at length.
Clerk, read the resolution.
Whereas we take pride and pleasure in honoring Dr. Jacqueline W. Stewart for her outstanding work caring for special needs and sick children through her daycare center, Hugs and Kisses. And whereas at an early age, Ms. Jacqueline realized her lifelong ambition to be a pediatrician. And whereas she began to follow her calling to care for children by pursuing education in the medical field. She received her bachelor's degree from Tuskegee University and her Doctor of Medicine from the University of Alabama at Birmingham. Professionally, she has worked at numerous healthcare facilities across Alabama, contributing to the health and well-being of many lives. And whereas Dr. Stewart's Hugs and Kisses, located in Birmingham, was founded to provide care for sick children so their parents or guardians would be able to return to work. In over 40 years of experience as a pediatrician, Dr. Stewart has heard from many concerned parents who were worried about losing their jobs or having to take time off from work to care for their sick children. Beyond caring for sick children, Hugs and Kisses also provide specific care for children with special needs. And whereas, after seeing the increasing need for the services provided at Hugs and Kisses, Dr. Stewart started Missions Hugs, awarding scholarships and providing tuition assistance for families who wish to send their children to Hugs and Kisses. Mission Hugs steps in to meet the needs of families with limited funds and children who need special equipment and medicine. And whereas the unique services Hugs and Kisses provides are highly sought after because there are very few cities that offer similar resources. Now therefore, be it resolved by the House of Representatives of the Legislature of Alabama that we highly commend and recognize Dr. Jacqueline W. Stewart for her outstanding and life-changing work through Hugs and Kisses Daycare Center and Mission Hugs, serving the needs of special needs and sick children.
All those in favor of the resolution say aye. Any opposed? It is adopted. Thank you for being with us today. Let's give her a big hand. The chair recognizes Representative Harrison for a special recognition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to suspend the rules for four privileges for the members of the FFA String Band and for consideration of a time-sensitive resolution.
All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Your permission granted.
Come on in. Come on, you can have a seat. Yeah, just have a seat. Yeah.
Representative Harrison, you're further recognized.
Members, we are honored today to have with us the Lauderdale County FFA String Band, along with their parents, advisor, Ivy Harbin, and I think their girlfriends are here too. Last November, they traveled up to Indiana and earned the title of FFA National Talent Competition Champions. They were the first band ever to win the title and the first from Alabama to take home that national honor. Earlier this morning, they had the opportunity to perform a couple of selections for the governor this morning, and I truly wish that you could have been there. They were outstanding, did a fantastic job. You can find their performances on YouTube. They're all over YouTube. Or better yet, you can go up to the Ryman Auditorium this February 5th and hear them live. So, Mr. Speaker, I move for adoption and ask that the resolution be read at length.
All those in favor of the adoption say aye. Any opposed? Clerk will now read the resolution.
Whereas it is with great honor that we recognize and celebrate the Lauderdale County Future Farmers of America String Band, a talented country and bluegrass trio composed of Connor McMeans, Ty McMeans, and Titus Thornton. And whereas blending classic Southern roots with youthful energy, the group's signature sound features the banjo, acoustic guitar, and bass guitar, performed with a heartfelt authenticity that reflects their agricultural heritage and small-town pride. And whereas the three musicians first met in an agricultural class in middle school, where their shared passion for music and FFA began to take shape. Over the past 5 years, they have grown together as artists and performers, captivating audiences across Alabama and beyond. And whereas each member brings a unique background to the band, Titus Thornton is deeply rooted in a traditional row crop and cattle operation, while brothers Connor and Ty McMeans come from a non-traditional agricultural background. The McMeans brothers operate their own landscaping business and are avid outdoorsmen, embodying the spirit of entrepreneurship and hard work that the FFA represents. And whereas Connor first picked up the banjo at the age of 9, inspired by one of his teachers, Titus discovered his own love for the guitar and singing around the same time and learned to play bass while in the FFA. Ty followed soon after, learning to fiddle at the age of 7 and learning to play guitar 4 years later. Their musical journey has led to countless performances over the years, each one strengthening their bond and refining their sound. And whereas beyond their musical success, all three members are highly active in the FFA, serving as chapter officers and competing in a variety of career and leadership development events. Together, they have represented the Lauderdale County FFA in contests such as tractor driving, livestock evaluation, and land evaluation, demonstrating their broad agricultural knowledge and leadership both in and out of the spotlight. Their involvement showcases the well-rounded spirit of today's FFA members as students who balance artistic talent with hands-on agricultural skills and community leadership. And whereas in 2025, the Lauderdale County FFA String Band made history by being named the National FFA Talent Contest Champions. This was the first band ever to win the title and the first act from the state of Alabama to take home the national honor. This achievement not only celebrates the band's musical excellence, but also stands as a testament to the values of dedication, teamwork, and passion that define both the musicians and their FFA journey. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the House of Representatives of the Legislature of Alabama that this body wishes to reflect upon and celebrate the invaluable contributions of the Lauderdale County Future Farmers of America String Band, and we further extend congratulations to its talented members, Connor McMeans, Ty McMeans, and Titus Thornton.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
All in favor of the resolution, say aye. All opposed? Ayes have it. The resolution is adopted. The chair recognizes the gentleman from Lee, Mr. Lovin.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I request that leave of absence be granted for absent members.
Are there any objections? Hearing none, the absent members are excused. The chair further recognizes the gentleman from Lee, Mr. Lovern.
Mr. Speaker, I have a report.
House of Representatives, your Standing Committee on Rules begs leave to report that it has carefully examined the Journal of the House for the third legislative day and finds the same to be correct. Signed, Representative Joe Lovern, Chairman.
Mr. Speaker, I move that the reading of the journal at length for the third legislative day be dispensed with.
Are there any objections? Hearing none, the reading of the journal is dispensed with.
The chair recognizes the gentleman from Mobile for the purpose of making announcements.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the Alabama Installment Lenders Association legislative reception is tonight, RSA Plaza Terrace, 6th floor, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. The Alabama Restaurant and Hospitality Association reception as New Elevation Convention Center and Hotel at 6:30 p.m. That's that new hotel on the hill. I don't have the address. Tomorrow, ALCAP prayer rally, tomorrow, Wednesday morning, on the front steps of the Alabama State House at 11:15. ALCAP prayer rally at 11:15 tomorrow on the front steps of the State House. Capitol Commission Bible study will be every Tuesday in room 602 from 11 a.m. to 11:25 a.m.
Mr. Pro Tem, you're further recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I move that when the House adjourned today, we leave the journal open to allow the clerk to complete his paperwork and reconvene on Wednesday, January 21 at 9 a.m. 9 a.m. tomorrow.
All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? The motion prevails. Clerk is now in position to receive reports, receive those standing committees throughout the day. The House is now in position to introduce bills and resolutions. Clerk will call the first bill on uncontested local bill and regular calendar.
On page 17 of the calendar, House Bill number 57 by Representative Bolton relating to Pickens County.
Question for the body is the adoption of the BIR. Clerk will unlock the machine and the members will vote. Clerk will lock the machine. Recorded votes, 62 ayes, 0 nays. The BIR has been adopted. Question for the body now is final passage of HB 57. Clerk will unlock the machine and the members will vote. Clerk will lock the bill. Lock. $15 ayes, 0 nays. HB 57 has passed. Clerk, call next bill.
On page 17 of the calendar, House Bill number 112 by Representative Hill relating to St. Clair County.
Question for the body's adoption of the BIR. Clerk will unlock the machine and the members will vote. Clerk will lock the machine. Recorded votes, 52 ayes, 0 nays. BIR has been adopted. Question for the body now, final passage of HB 112. Clerk will unlock the machine and the members will vote. Clerk will lock the machine. Record the votes, 11 ayes, 0 nays. HB 112 has passed. Clerk, call the next bill.
On page 17 of the calendar, House Bill number 133 by Representative Estes relating to Lamar County.
Question for the body's adoption of the BIR. Clerk will unlock the machine and the members will vote. Clerk will lock the machine. Record the votes, 45 ayes, 0 nays. BIR has been adopted. Question now is final passage of HB 133. Clerk will unlock the machines and the members will vote. Clerk will lock the machine. Record the vote, 7 ayes, 0 nays. HB 133 has passed. Clerk, call next bill.
On page 17 of the calendar, House Bill number 134 by Representative Estes relating to Lamar County.
Question for the body's adoption of the BIR. Clerk will unlock the machine and the members will vote. Clerk will lock the machine, record the votes. 46 ayes, 0 nays. BIR has been adopted. Question now is final passage of HB 134. Clerk will unlock the machine and the members will vote. Clerk will lock the machine, record the vote. 6 ayes, 0 nays. HB 134 has passed. Clerk, call next bill.
On page 18 of the calendar, House Bill number 184 by Representative Ream, relating to Henry County.
Question for the body's adoption of the BIR. Clerk will unlock the machine and the members will vote. Clerk will lock the machine, record the votes. 53 ayes, 0 nays. BR has been adopted. Question now is final passage of HB 184. Clerk will unlock the machine and the members will vote. Clerk will lock the machine, record the votes. 12 ayes, 0 nays. HB 184 has passed. Clerk, call the next bill.
On page 18 of the calendar, House Bill number 193 by Representative Colvin, relating to Marshall County.
Question for the body's adoption of the BIR. Clerk will unlock the machine and the members will vote. Clerk will lock the machine, record the votes. 50 ayes, 0 nays. BR has been adopted. Question now is final passage of HB 193. Clerk will unlock the machine and the members will vote. Clerk will lock the machine, record the votes. 9 ayes, 0 nays. HB 193 has passed. Clerk, call the next bill.
On page 18 of the calendar, House Bill number 194 by Representative Colvin, relating to Marshall County.
Question for the body's adoption of the BIR. Clerk will unlock the machine and the members will vote. Clerk will lock the machine, record the votes. 47 ayes, 0 nays. The BR has been adopted. Question now is final passage of HB 194. Clerk will unlock the machine and the members will vote. Clerk will lock the machine, record the votes. 12 ayes, 0 nays. HB 194 has passed. Clerk, call next bill.
On page 16 of the calendar, House Bill number 200 by Representative Baker, relating to Escambia County.
Question for the body's adoption of the BIR. Clerk will unlock the machine and the members will vote. Clerk will lock the machine, record the votes. 49 ayes, 0 nays. BR has been adopted. Question now is final passage of HB 200. Clerk will unlock the machine and the members will vote. Clerk will lock the machine, record the votes. 10 ayes, 0 nays. HB 200 has passed. Clerk, call next bill.
On page 16 of the calendar, House Bill number 201 by Representative Baker, relating to Escambia County.
Question for the body's adoption of the BIR. Clerk will unlock the machine and the members will vote. Clerk will lock the machine, record the votes. 52 ayes, 0 nays. BR has been adopted. Question now is final passage of HB 201. Clerk will unlock the machine and the members will vote. Clerk will lock the machine, record the vote. 8 ayes, 0 nays. HB 201 has passed. Clerk, call next bill.
On page 16 of the calendar, House Bill number 203 by Representative Ream, relating to Henry County.
Question for the body's adoption of the BIR. Clerk will unlock the machine and the members will vote. Clerk will lock the machine, record the votes. 51 ayes, 0 nays. BR has been adopted. Question is final passage of HB 203. Clerk will unlock the machine and the members will vote. Clerk will lock the machine, record the votes. 12 ayes, 0 nays. HB 203 has passed. Clerk, call next bill.
On page 18 of the calendar, House Bill number 204 by Representative Ream, relating to Henry County.
Question for the body's adoption of the BIR. Clerk will unlock the machine and the members will vote. Fifty-one ayes, 0 nays. The BR has been adopted. Question for the body is final passage of HB 204. Clerk will unlock the machine and the members will vote. Clerk will lock the machine. Record the vote. 11 ayes, 0 nays. HB 204 has passed. Clerk, call the next bill.
On page 18 of the calendar, House Bill number 205 by Representative Ream relating to Henry County.
Question for the body's adoption of the BIR. Clerk will unlock the machine. The members will vote. Clerk will lock the machine. Record the votes. 52 ayes, 0 nays. BR has been adopted. Question for the body now is final passage of HB 205. Clerk will unlock the machine and the members will vote. Clerk will lock the machine. Record the votes. 14 ayes, 0 nays. HB 205 has passed. Mr. Clerk, let's call the next bill.
On page 16 of the calendar, House Bill number 84, a constitutional amendment by Representative Hammett relating to Covington County.
Question for the body is adoption of the BIR. Clerk will unlock the machine and the members. Clerk will lock the machine. Record the vote. 65 ayes, 0 nays. BR has been adopted. Question for the body is passage of HB 84. Clerk will unlock the machine and the members will vote. This vote requires 63 votes. Clerk will lock the machine. Record the vote. 65 ayes, 0 nays. HB 84 has passed. Representative Hammett, you care to come down to the mic and explain what this bill is, please?
Mr. Speaker, it's just allowing the probate judge, if there's a case that comes before her, that she handles it as long as she's a licensed lawyer in the state instead of sending it to circuit clerk. We've done this a couple years ago in Houston County, I think.
Okay, thank you, sir. Appreciate the explanation. This does require a local application. Members will have to vote on a local application. Remember, the clerk will unlock the machine and the members will vote. Clerk will lock the machine. Record the vote. 60 ayes, 0 nays. HB 84 has passed. Okay, we have some guests in the gallery. I'd like to recognize Ivy League Club, a youth leadership institute from Prattville Junior High School, are the guests of Lawrence Smith and Starnes. If you would stand up, let's give them a big round of applause. Thank you for being with us today. Clerk, call the first bill on the regular order calendar.
On page 2 of the calendar, House Bill number 87 with substitute by Representative Sells relating to taxation.
Chairman Sales, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This bill addresses a tax on corn for deer feed. When you go to a feed store is supposed to collect tax on corn for deer, but not collect it on anything else for livestock or cattle. So this just makes it easier for everybody. They're just taking the state tax off of corn for deer.
Okay, you heard the gentleman's explanation of the bill. Clerk will unlock the machine and the members will vote. Clerk will lock the machine. Record the vote. 82 ayes, 0 nays. The BR has been adopted.
Okay, Mr. Speaker, have a committee sub.
Care to explain your sub, please?
Yes, Mr. Speaker. So what we've done is this goes back and puts the language in there, so it just takes off the state tax and allows the city and the county to deal with it themselves.
Yeah, you've heard the gentleman's explanation to the sub. Clerk will unlock the machine. The members vote. Clerk will lock the machine. Record the vote. 79 ayes, 0 nays. Substitute has been adopted. Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Speaker, I ask for final passage. as
That is
substituted.
questions final passage of HB 87 as substituted. Clerk will unlock the machine and the members will vote. Clerk will lock the machine, record the votes. 79 ayes, 1 nay. HB 87 has passed as substituted.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, gentlemen. Clerk, call next bill.
On page 2 of the calendar, House Bill number 96 by Representative Pringle relating to homestead exemptions.
Mr. Pro Tem, you're recognized.
Ladies and gentlemen, this just raises the exemption. If you're elderly or disabled and you file bankruptcy, it raises the exemption so you can keep your house and don't lose it in foreclosure.
Okay, you've heard the gentleman's explanation of the bill. Question for the body's adoption of the BIR. Clerk will unlock the machine and members will vote. Clerk will lock the machine, record the votes. 94 ayes, 0 nays. The BR has been adopted. Mr. Pro Tem.
Move passage.
That is questions final passage of HB 96. Clerk will unlock the machine and the members will vote. Clerk will lock the machine, record the votes. 96 ayes, 0 nays. HB 96 has passed. Clerk, call next bill.
On page 3 of the calendar, House Bill number 28 with substitute by Representative Brown relating to the income tax.
Chairman Brown, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I have House Bill 28. What this does, it creates a tax credit for people that recycle oyster shells that go back in the oyster beds in Mobile Bay. It creates $1 per 50 pound of shells, $100,000 total tax credit, and sunsets in 5 years. Mr. Speaker, I call for the BIR.
That is the question, is the adoption of the BIR. Clerk will unlock the machine and the members will vote. Clerk will lock the machine, record the vote. 100 ayes, 0 nays. The BR has been adopted. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I had an amendment to it. It was a committee amendment. Oh, it's a sub? Okay.
Here to explain your sub, please.
Yes, sir. Yes, all it does is it's from the Department of Revenue. It clears up some language that makes it easier for them. And then it also allows individuals to participate in the program and the oyster recycling program.
Chair recognizes the lady from Mobile, Representative Drummond.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Will the gentleman yield?
Yes, ma'am.
Representative Brown, since this bill came through our committee, I wanted to tell you it's very ironic. You know what's about to happen in Mobile right now. We're getting ready for Mardi Gras.
Oh, yeah.
So I was in your part of the district this weekend, and guess who I was with? One of our Mardi Gras organizations, the Utopian Club. And guess what they took me down to show me on their
oyster
water
farm?
Yes. And
amazing.
I just thought what you said in committee about what's going to happen with the recycling of the shells is such a good thing. I want the body to hear about it, because if I had not been in committee meeting, I wouldn't have known what they were sharing with me. So can you share a little of that?
I will. I appreciate that. So what this does is when they harvest oysters out of a body like Mobile Bay, Mississippi Sound, when they do, if they don't replenish those oysters, then eventually that reef will die. And so what's happened over the years, close to 90% of the reefs have died off. And what they do is that they bring the oysters in, they clean them, sterilize them, and then they go back out and put them on the reef, and spat, which are baby oysters, will stick to that new shell on the reef, and eventually it'll regrow and regenerate the reef. So that's what we're trying to do, is to make oysters more populous again.
And they were talking about how it is helping them also with the erosion of their waterfront property, which I thought was real interesting too.
Yeah, and so the way that
I mean, most folks in Montgomery and all northward, they only think oysters are good on a shell for eating, and I just wanted you to tell them about
yeah.
kind of what
Well,
else.
I tell you what, it is to a body of water. It's crucial because it filters the water, so it works as a natural filter in clearing the water. And also, it helps young fish and crabs and everything grow as well. And then it provides more oxygen in the water. And then, from erosion control standpoint, it helps as well because you've got something anchoring on the bottom of that shore.
Well, and I thought it was so interesting the way that they have theirs couched, because it's serving actually two purposes, actually helping the erosion on the property and actually helping to regenerate that oyster bed on that. And I thought all of that was really wonderful. As a matter of fact, I told the person who was sharing it with me, I said, you ought to bring school kids down here, because seriously, we often look at these things. We look at just the food value, but not what they're offering for the environment of our waters. And that's what, South Alabama thrives on.
That's right.
So it's good that we keep them healthy. So I just wanted to say, I thought that was rather interesting and timely. And they thought I was smart because they thought I knew what I was
You are
talking
smart.
about. Well, I didn't know what I was. If it had not been for being in committee last week, I wouldn't have known what they were doing down there. And they're quite excited because they don't live down there. They only have, Mardi Gras organization has a house.
Yeah.
So they were down there partying. I was surprised that they knew what they were doing. So I just wanted to give you that little tidbit because it was just terribly interesting to me, because in our part of the state, I think that it is so vital for us to do things like this, to not only help the industry, but also to make sure that we're environmentally conscious for what is happening to our waters.
Well, thank you for that, and I appreciate your support of it, because I tell you what, if the oysters all die and go away, it's going to be a major blow to our way of life in Mobile County, and it's going to be an economic hit, not just to my district, but the rest of the state.
Well, they were talking about that they started seeing the oysters that were coming out of the water around their house. They're actually smaller than what they normally get out of their beds. And I thought that was interesting. I don't know what caused that. But I just thought that was interesting. But to see these people, I would say they were our happy seniors. And I thought all they were good was for the Mardi Gras spirits. But to see them being conscious of that, I was just very impressed by that.
Well, I appreciate that, because it's important. I'll tell you what, if we don't protect our waterways, then it's going to affect our whole quality of life. It really will.
But thank you for South Alabama.
Thank you, Representative. I appreciate it.
Sure, thanks, Olay. The question for the body now is adoption of the substitute. Clerk will unlock the machine and the members will vote. Clerk will lock machine. Record the vote. 101 ayes, 0 nays. Substitute has been adopted. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I call for final passage.
That is questions final passage of HB 28 as substituted. Clerk will unlock machine and the members will vote. Clerk will lock machine. Record the vote. 101 ayes, 0 nays. HB 28 has passed as substituted.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, members.
Thank the gentleman. Clerk, call next bill.
On page 3 of the calendar, House Bill number 59 by Representative Underwood, relating to the State Board of Public Accountancy.
Representative Underwood, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for recognition. HB 59 is an efficiency bill for the State Board of Public Accountancy as endorsed by the Alabama Society of CPAs, and how it interacts and oversees its licensees. Basically moving things from statute to rule for a well-behaved and well-maintained board, as it involves education requirements, prerequisites, as it involves CPA examination updates, and on electronic notifications, we're adding emails to the post office notifications as well. The direction we're going is open up the pipeline for CPAs to get involved in business. Today, it's a 4-year college degree plus a master's, sit for the exam, and work for a public accountant for 1 year to get credentialed. We're keeping that. We're adding 4-year degree, sit for the exam, 2 years with a CPA firm, so we're getting CPAs in the pipeline quicker with this. That's the direction we're going. So we call it the Pathways to CPA Act. With that, Mr. Speaker, I would ask for the BR.
As the question is adoption of the BIR, clerk will unlock the machine and the members will vote. Clerk will lock the machine, record the votes, 102 ayes, 0 nays. The BIR has been adopted. Representative Underwood.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. With that, if no questions, I would call for final vote.
That is questions, final passage of HB 59. Clerk will unlock the machine and members will vote. Clerk will lock the machine, record the vote, 100 ayes, 0 nays. HB 59 has passed.
I'm for that bill. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, gentlemen. Clerk, call next bill.
On page 4 of the calendar, House Bill number 128 with substitute by Representative Lands relating to the Board of Midwifery.
Representative Lands, you're recognized.
Good afternoon, Mr. Speaker, and thank you for the recognition. HB 128 is a simple bill. It is basically a housekeeping bill for the State Board of Midwifery, and it's some technical revisions. So it removes the term non-consecutive. It takes out a reference to an agency that is now defunct, and it makes existing rules align with the North Alabama Registry of Midwives. And it will allow the board to receive donations beyond the licensing fees. The Board of Midwifery is funded only by license fees and fines. And with such a small number of licensees, costs are spread among very few people, which can result in sharp fee increases, as we've recently seen in Alaska. Allowing grants and donations would provide alternative funding, and it would help stabilize or reduce fees, lower barriers for new midwives to enter the practice, and improve access to care statewide. These funds could be used to support public education and advocacy about midwifery care and scope of practice. Mr. Speaker, I move for passage of the BIR.
The chair recognizes the lady from Jefferson, Representative Van. First person to speak on the BIR.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Did we pass this bill out of here last year? Did we? I thought we had a midwifery bill. Was it this bill?
It was similar to this bill. Actually, the bill that was introduced last year has been split into two bills. And so this one, because it just deals with the board, went through boards, agencies, and commissions. The other one deals with the newborn screening. So it's basically last year's bill, but split into two.
So, okay, so let me ask a question. You all split it for the purpose of what? I mean, do you think it's a better shot to getting out? Did anyone have any problems with the bill when it left the House? Obviously so.
It got stuck in the Senate.
So did it make it out of Senate committee?
I don't believe it did.
Okay. It's a difference when you say it got stuck in the Senate. It got stuck, if it never hit the floor, that's always a telltale.
There was an amendment introduced, and it was not acceptable, and so I think it just died at that point.
Okay, that's what I was trying to get to, because I remembered the bill. I mean, you know, my brain, it's not as good as it used to be, but it's not much that I miss with these, with certain bills, because I think I can even remember I had a very close friend who was heavily involved in midwifery when I was in college. And so I've always held this subject matter near and dear to my heart because of that. So I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't something that I was missing, and then also to know what the bill that is split, however, what is the split? Maybe if you can help me with that.
So the other bill, HB 129, deals with the newborn screenings.
Okay. Okay, who's carrying 129? You or?
I am.
Okay, so you, okay. Girl, you smart. You done split your bill all the way up. I don't know of anybody who's just in split a bill. That is kind of creative.
Got to get creative.
I know we make some amendments and subs, but you split yours. Okay, I'm just trying to, so I'll wait for the other one to come, but I didn't have a problem with it one way or the other, but there are no simple bills here, because if this bill was a simple bill, it would have made it out of committee, onto the floor, into final passage. But I'm hoping you've put it in a form that is easy, much, and really simpler, because I thought it was a good bill. I appreciate you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you.
Chair thanks the lady. Chair recognizes the lady from Shelby, Representative Bose.
Representative Lands, I would like to thank you for bringing this bill before us today. I am very much in favor of it. I was honored to co-sponsor it. I've enjoyed working with you on this summer and spending a lot of time talking to the midwives. And this is just a baby step in the right direction and a first step in what we hope can be a way to safely bring midwifery options to the public. So thank you for this.
Thank you.
Chair thanks the lady. Question for the body now is the adoption of the BIR. Clerk will unlock the machine and the members will vote. Clerk will lock the machine. Record the votes. 100 ayes, 0 nays. The BIR has been adopted.
Mr. Speaker, the bill was amended last week in committee, and I move for passage of the committee substitute.
You care to explain your substitute, please?
We simply added back in some language that had been taken out at the request of the Hospital Association.
Ms. Hall, you want to speak on the bill, okay. You don't come on down?
This is for the other bill.
Representative Hall, you're recognized.
Thank you, Ms. Land, Representative Lands. Would you tell me exactly what the information that we removed from your bill versus what we have?
Yes, it's lines 249 through 251. And all information required to be provided to new mothers before discharge by hospitals as defined in section 222120.
And all directions that would be, the hospital did not want the information have the responsibility. I guess that was the question did not want the responsibility of providing.
They didn't want to open the door up to having to update it each time and do new legislation. So, and
It does, okay, so they don't want it, every time we did new legislations, they don't want to have to do new legislation to bring it in order.
yeah.
And the language makes it permanent that you're using?
The language, yes. And the midwifery group were in favor of this. They were fine with it.
Thank you.
The chair thanks the lady. Chair, the question for the body now is, you want to talk on sub or the bill? The bill? Okay. Question for the body is the adoption of the sub. Clerk will unlock the machine and the members will vote. Clerk will lock the machine. Record the vote. 98 ayes, 0 nays. Substitute has been adopted. Representative Lands. Representative Lands.
So I've just gotten a floor amendment. So I'm trying to take a look at that. Could I come back up after I've had a chance to review this?
Let's let the gentleman bring the amendment. Let's see where we're at then, Mr. Representative Lands. Chair recognizes the gentleman from Lauderdale, Representative Harrison.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have an amendment.
Clerk, see the amendment.
Amendment to House Bill number 128 by Representative Harrison.
Care to explain your amendment, please?
The amendment replaces some language on line 65 on page 3 with the following: submitted by the Alabama Birth Coalition or its successor consumer organizations. That's just some more cleanup. The next one is replace line 252 on page 9 with the following. Says a licensed midwife shall order and may administer these tests. That's talking about the screening test. And then on line 14, on line 255 on page 10, replace it with the following: newborn screening program to all neonates in his or her care. The Alabama Department of Public Health and its agencies shall provide all tests to a licensed midwife upon request.
Okay, how does the sponsor review this and see it?
It's what we referenced this morning.
I'm good with the first two. I'm looking at the third one.
Yes, ma'am, that's fine.
Yep.
I think. Right, that's what I was. But it is the language that is in this bill.
So you okay with that?
Well,
Yeah.
I accept the floor amendment.
Okay, I think we got some members that's got some confusion about the amendment. Let's see if we can get clarification on where we're at. We need to, I think the chair recognizes the gentleman from Houston, Representative Lee.
Okay. Can we call this one back up? Okay.
Okay.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we carry it over.
At the call of the chair.
At the call of the chair.
Okay, the sponsor has asked for it to be carried over to the call of the chair to work out this amendment. So I agree to do that. Let's carry it over and we will bring it back up, okay? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We're carrying it over and let them work on it, okay? Thank Clerk, call next bill.
On page 4 of the calendar, House Bill number 117 by Representative Hill, relating to county commissions.
Chairman Hill, you're recognized.
Mr. Speaker, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not simple, but it's interesting. In our county commissions, the only individual that can have our credit card is our county administrator. Consequently, when our county commissioners go to meetings or conferences, they are not allowed to carry the county credit card because the county credit card can only be handled by the administrator. So, in order to, we send our county commissioners to meetings and different things all over the place. What this does is it allows the county administrator to load a card, which they call a P card or a payment card, a procurement card, so that that individual can carry that card that's loaded with certain amounts of money to be spent for certain things to the particular meeting that they go to.
they still must bring back a receipt for those funds that they have expended. But it lets us handle this in a manner that is far more expeditious than what we're trying to do now. So with that, Mr. Speaker, I'd ask for the BIR.
The chair recognizes the lady from Jefferson, Representative Moore.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Gentlemen, how much, is there going to be a cap on the amount of money that they could load to this credit card?
The county administrator would be authorized to load the card and give it to a particular county commissioner for utilization of that county commissioner on that particular project. Or it's really a service purchase as opposed to a tangible goods purchase.
But still, is there a cap?
No.
So they could put what they want to on there. They got to determine
Well,
wherever they're going.
You could say that, but they've got the credit card right now. The county administrator has the
credit card now that they could just go spend.
Say again?
They could just go spend with the credit card they have.
The county administrator is in charge of the credit card.
And then they still have to bring back the receipts and everything.
Absolutely. They still
and if they use the credit card on something that's not allowable, then they have to pay that back.
Yes, but they're not giving him this county credit card. We're loading a certain amount of funds
I still
onto
think
a
it ought
procurement card.
it ought to be dependent upon what event or activity they going to. It ought to be a limit based upon where they're going and what the event is.
That's why you have a county, but like I said, the county administrator has the credit card today.
That is unlimited?
Sure.
It's unlimited now that they have it.
The-
So why
the
not leave it the
county
same way?
adminis-
Because you're going to load a card and you ain't got a limit on the card that you're loading. So you might as well keep what you got. Since there's not a limit, they got a credit card already that doesn't have a limit.
But nobody but the county administrator can use the credit card.
So you're saying this opens it up for other people to use the credit
I'm saying
card?
it opens up for her to load, the county administrator to load a card similar to a debit card for individuals to spend on hotels, food, things that they do
shouldn't have
when
to
they
do that
go to
because
conference.
normally when you go off to a meeting, the county, or whatever organization it is, they will pay for the hotel in advance. Now, most times the food becomes an issue on it, but most times the county or the school board or the city council, they would have paid for the hotel. I don't understand, except that now this one person holds the card, but now she's going to do like a debit card to other people within the county to be able to spend if they go off to any type of convention or meeting.
Well, we send these county commissioners all over the place.
Well, what are they doing now?
Well, right now, they have been having to pay for their own stuff with their own money and bring back and get reimbursed. This allows
You're taking
them.
away the reimbursement.
This is a way to reimburse them. But they still have to bring back the receipt.
I understand, but
there's still an accountability, a transparency.
I understand, but what you're doing now, and what they're doing currently, when they go out, they pay out of their pocket,
Correct.
bring their receipts back, and get reimbursed. This will take away from them paying out of their pocket. All they have to do is bring the receipts back to justify their spending.
That is correct.
All right.
No, that is correct.
That make a little more sense.
All right. Listen, the ACCA is concerned about the fact that they're having to do something which is simply not efficient. This would just be much more efficient from the point of view of our counties.
They still do it all over.
Yeah, it may do it, but this is still more efficient.
They still do it all over, and I agree with you. It ought to be a little more efficient, but clarity is the best thing, and understanding the best thing on earth, because I didn't understand it from that point, but I can understand how, because I get that complaint
a lot from our teachers, how you spend money out of your pocket. Then you take your receipts back and hope you get reimbursed in a reasonable point of time. Sometimes it might take months before you get it back.
And yeah, it would be a similar, yes, that's a similar issue, similar problem.
I see.
Thank you.
The chair thanks the lady. The chair recognizes the gentleman from Mobile, Representative Jones.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Hey, Mayor.
You got out of committee before I could ask my
Sir.
You left the committee before I could answer my question. You was in a hurry. You had another committee, man. So, as I understand it, your bill would simply allow the county administrator to issue a card to other county personnel to cover expenses of either trips or whatever they might be purchasing for the county, provided that they bring a receipt justifying what they spent.
Yes, sir.
Could you extend that to the legislature?
Sir? Yeah. Listen, you know, Mayor, I've been down here now for 13 years. I really don't make all this stuff up. It's just ACCA. You're familiar with them, and they called me and they said, we've got this issue, and they said, here's a bill that we would like for you to offer to help us to streamline what we do. And because the state law right now limits the individual that can have the card to the county administrator. That's.
It also limits state officials. As the law is written now, state officials are in the same position.
Sure.
Okay. I was just simply asking that, so this means that anyone that the county administrator decides has to make an expenditure for some county purposes, he could issue the credit card and they would have to bring receipts.
But it would be a loaded card. It would not be a credit card like your Visa card that has no limit. They would load on that credit card the expenditures I'm sure that they deem would be made over the course of that trip.
The projected expenditures.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And that person would be accountable for that expenditure based on the receipts that they bring back.
Yes, sir.
So,
that's correct.
I was tempted to amend your bill to include state employees too.
Yeah.
Because we don't have that privilege. But that's the question I want to ask you. I just wanted to ask you, right now the county have to be consistent with what state law and state employees are.
That's correct.
That's right. And this would simply give them a mechanism to allow people not to use their personal funds to do something for the county and wait for reimbursement.
That is correct.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir. I mean, that really is it. That's just, it's
Thank you.
I hate to say simple, but it really is about that simple.
Chair thanks the gentleman. Chair recognizes the lady from Montgomery,
Thank you, Mayor.
Representative Morris.
You know, you are.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. With the gentleman
Hey,
here,
ma'am.
I just have one or two small questions. So I understand exactly what it is that you're doing, being able to allow the county commissioners to be able to have the card where they don't have to bring a receipt back to be reimbursed. So is it going to be designated to one person, or like, let's say for Montgomery County, we have 5 county commissioners. So like at the end of the month, if they've had 3 or 4 different places they had to go, and the first county commissioner uses it, turns in their receipts or whatever, then the second one have to go somewhere else. They turn in their paperwork. The third one have to go somewhere. They turn in their paperwork. But somewhere along the line, there's a discrepancy. So who will be at fault if it's something dealing with like, because there's no cap on what you're using. And we're saying that, you know, it's for hotels and things of that nature, which
It's services. It is a services type.
yeah, because that's what we do, right? When we get ready to travel, we travel. And if we travel, we have to come back, bring our receipts, and do a reimbursement as legislators. That's what we have to do, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm just if we wanted to do the same thing, would we be able to?
Not under this statute.
Not on, okay, so, but would it be feasible for us to do something like that if we are doing services?
All right. I do not know the answer, and here's why. Counties have a credit card. So St. Clair County, Jefferson County, you have the county administrator has a credit card that they are authorized by the commission to use. What this would allow that administrator to do is, with the authorization of the county commission, load a debit type card and give it to an individual. So if you had 5 county commissioners going to 5 different places, you would give them 5 different cards, and each of them would use that card where they went, and then that individual would bring the receipts back to the county administrator, who would be responsible for tallying that up, or, you know, overseeing those expenditures.
And you don't foresee something happening down the line with that, with everybody having access to money like that? I'm just asking a question.
Well, ma'am, I tell you why I don't. I think the county administrator can take that card right now.
Mm-hmm.
This actually limits the amount of money that the individual can spend and requires that individual bring back a receipt. So in a way, I see this as a safeguard, because it is not requiring the county administrator to do this. The county administrator, with the authorization of the county, loads the card.
But right now, if something happened, any discrepancies that happen with the monies, we know it's coming back to the administrator, right?
Yes.
But once we
It
open
still
it up
would.
to everybody that's on the county, we don't know whether discrepancies are going to actually come from, or I'm just asking.
Any more than you would know now if you sent one of your county commissioners to a meeting and you said pay for it with your own credit card. Then when they brought back the receipts, they would tally those and approve them or not approve them. This gives you that individual a pre-approved card, and it would be for things like hotel rooms, food, things of that nature that are already appropriate expenditures for those county employees or those county officials.
So even with the pre-booking from the county administrators, right? So right now, everything is pre-booked. And the only thing that they're really getting reimbursement for is food.
You're assuming that the county's prepaying. I don't know that they
No,
are.
I'm saying, like, okay, if you know that you're having a meeting out of town,
Right.
and you're going to get a hotel, would the administrator already pre-book the hotels for them, and they just come in with food receipts?
That is possible that they could do that, but then what you do is you turn your county administrator into the travel agent for the county, and that's going to be hopefully our county administrators have better things to do than just be travel agents for commissioners.
Who booking the rooms now?
I don't,
If the
maybe
administrator
they
got the card,
may well
right?
book their own, I don't know. Or the county administrator, they may be going to a certain hotel, but they would take the card to pay for the room and the service that they receive and bring back the same receipt that you get from the hotel today.
And again, I totally get it. I just think that we're going to open up a door, a window where it's going to be a lot of people with a lot of different cards, with a lot of uploads. and money just gonna be just being used. Because at one point when you go to the store and you buy a cup of coffee, you don't put that on your receipt, right? You don't just write, your coffee was $7. You don't turn that in when you go. Now you have a card, so that every $7 is going to count. And do you think so? Because if I have a card, and if I was using my own money and I don't want to go through all of the receipts of turning in for a cup of coffee, or maybe I went to McDonald's or something like that and got me a cheeseburger, but now I got a card at my expense, everything from a pack of gum to coffee is going on that card because I am doing county business. Do you think that's going to be taxing a little more than usual?
I don't, because everybody's got a card now. I got credit cards, I've got debit cards. I can go to McDonald's today and put a cup of coffee on a credit card.
Exactly.
And by the way, they let you.
But I'm talking about the county credit card. So it's different when you have your card and you go inside the store and you buy a cup of coffee. But if I'm on county business, I'm not going to use my card. I'm going to use county card.
Well, that may be true, but you are authorized to use for the county to reimburse you for those expenditures that are lawful while you are on a county mission.
But what's the odds of you count every cup of coffee? But I yield.
I don't know. I don't know the answer to your
exactly what it is.
No, is it going to be abused? I don't know, but it does simplify
It's going
the
to be
thing.
abused, and we are going to have a problem. We'll be back looking at it again, or seeing it somewhere in the newspaper. But thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you a lot.
Chair thanks the lady. Chair recognizes the gentleman from Mobile, Representative Shary. Be the fourth person to speak on the BR.
Chairman Hill,
Yes, sir.
let me explain it, or let me try to get this straight. So you guys are going to have a card that's preloaded.
Correct.
That your commissioners can use for authorized expenditures. You will have basically accounting from your credit card company where the money was spent. Seems like an audit would be a lot easier when you had those expenses. I think this is a good bill.
I think that's the way the Office of Public Examiners views this, which is one reason, the county got with the public examiners, and this is the methodology that they thought would be the best. Makes sense to me.
Yeah. So right now they're having to turn in receipts. Do you think they always turn in the receipts? Sometimes they don't get reimbursed. They just
sometimes, and you don't know how quickly they're going to get reimbursed either. We're asking people to do county business, and we ought to fund expenditures that are lawful for them to make. Now, look, you can't go buy alcohol with a county card. You can't buy furniture. Clothing. You go to the beach, you can't buy a T-shirt, but you can certainly buy your supper.
Completely agree. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Chair thanks the gentleman. The question for the body now is the adoption of the BIR. Clerk will unlock the machine and the members will vote. Clerk will lock the machine. Recorded votes, 99 ayes, 1 nay. The BR has been adopted. Chairman Hill.
Mr. Speaker, thank you a lot, and I'd ask for final approval.
Chair recognizes the lady from Jefferson, Representative Cavan.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Real quick, hey, Judge Hill. I want to echo some of the sentiments that I've heard. Listen, my whole thought process on anything that comes here, I still say we are the only body that I know would pass legislation to criminalize ourselves. I've said that since the first bill that I ever participated being called from into a special session by Bob Riley from freshman orientation when we used to do the orientations at the University of Alabama. And that was a part of many, many things to come. And I remember saying then the same thing, make you laugh, make you cry. And I also remember standing up in many of ethics sessions where I said we need to define a thing of value, give a definition, and I still remember some of the senators that pulled my coat and said, "Oh no, we need to leave that up for a jury to interpret." Well, as the story goes, some of those same folks are no longer in this body. Last year, there was a bill, a workforce development bill, and they wanted to remove this entity who would be working or helping from anything that will fall under the ethics laws. They wouldn't have that. And I stood firm and, and whatever, because I feel like if we should fall under those sections of the law, then I think everybody should. My question is someone in the legislature going to have carte blanche, hands-on receipt of a credit card where they can create the amount of money, upload it to use when we go out of town or when we're traveling? And it's no disrespect to anybody. I don't have a problem necessarily with the bill, and I've just been simple. Since I've been here, what you do for one, you ought to be willing to do for all. And I just think when we open Pandora's box, and I said this last year, and some of my colleagues were very upset about that workforce development bill, but I spoke the truth. And I don't care, like I said, I'm not here for anybody to like me. I'm here to speak the truth.
This deals solely with counties. It does not deal with any other entity in the state but the counties.
But we're opening the door for a particular group. We're a particular classification. Now it's starting with the county commission. Is it going to start then next with the city councilors or this, that, and the other? That's the only thing that I'm saying. If you open it for one, I wanted to talk about bringing a raise for our district attorney. Jefferson County is the largest county. Over 100 murders. That's just a year. 600 and something folks. Nobody has come close to matching that yet. 2 detectives. I'm just laying out a picture. Well, one of the biggest issues was the thought of bringing a bill that would amend it. It's all other district attorneys across the state of Alabama will have a fit. And what you do for one, you do for all. So I listened to the rationale behind even just something as simple as that. My argument was there are other CAs that come about, and whichever county chooses to move a CA that works for them, let them do it. And those same district attorneys at some point could do the same. So the same thing I'm saying about that is I think we need to find a balance with all of this stuff. So if it impacts one, eventually somebody's going to try it somewhere else or another division or level of government. Is all I'm saying. I don't have a problem necessarily with the bill. I just have a problem with when we start creating these special classes of people and making legislation for that group versus everybody. I just feel like that becomes problematic.
I do understand what you're saying. I got you. I don't really have a good answer for that, except that the county commission is a unique part of our government. They are elected by our folks. The county money is only comes from the county, whereas your DA is a state office.
I understand that,
And so you give your DA a raise, you got to give them all a raise because they're all DAs.
We can that's true. But we can move a resolution, a CA for our county that modifies it. I've gone through all of the law, but it can't. I'm never gonna come to this microphone as I hadn't done my homework. I've gone through went through the whole kit and caboodle with me, and so I accepted it. I didn't like it, but I accepted it. So the question becomes, will the next district attorney do it? Will the next district attorney do it? Even down to just taking some monies from out of the Jefferson County, one of our funds, to assist, maybe then help hire more detectives. So that's still up in the air. But I just use that as an example, and I understand the State Department, this, that, and the other, but there's nothing under the law that cannot be modified even if it has to be modified by a constitutional amendment. So that's number one. But with that being the case, again, I just don't want us to get into making and creating these special, because the county commission is the county commission. They are elected, we all are. I just don't want to be opening a door because someone from the city council eventually could come. I'm just saying.
I understand.
And then we're not afforded those same opportunities, but we're also a group that may be criminalized for things that the average, ordinary, regular person would not be criminalized for. So that's another thing. But I just wanted to make sure that we're just not opening Pandora's box. I don't have a problem with the bill. It's just,
Thank you.
that's it.
Thank you.
All right. And plus,
Appreciate
I
it.
got a bill that's coming up in your committee, and I don't want to be penalized for it. Thank you.
Question for the body is the adoption of the BIR. Passage of the bill. I'm sorry. I'm trying to make you step out longer than you need to, right?
It's a real pleasure.
You're welcome. The question for the body now is final passage of HB 117. Clerk will unlock the machine. The members vote. Clerk will lock the machine. Record the votes. 90 ayes, 5 nays. HB 117 has passed.
Listen, Mr. Speaker, thanks a lot, because truly this will streamline the way our counties go about doing their business, and it's not going to do anything to impact the accountability of the individuals. Thank you.
Chair, thanks, gentlemen. Clerk, call next bill.
On page 4 of the calendar, House Bill number 22 by Representative Butler, relating to Class 4 municipalities.
Representative Butler, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This bill deals only with Class 4 municipalities, which is Gadsden and Tuscaloosa, except that Tuscaloosa exempted itself from this years ago, and Gadsden's asking for the same latitude. This is a bill that we've passed twice previously. It has stalled in the Senate both times, so we're hoping the third time's a charm. With that, Mr. Speaker, I move for the BIR.
That is questions. Adoption of the BIR. Clerk will unlock the machine and the members will vote. Clerk will lock the machines. Record the votes. 95 ayes, 0 nays. The BIR has been adopted. Representative Butler.
I move for final passage, please.
That's questions. Final passage of HB 22. Clerk will unlock the machine and the members will vote. Clerk will lock the machine. Record the votes. 94 ayes, 2 nays. HB 22 has passed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, gentlemen. Clerk, call next bill.
On page 5 of the calendar, House Bill number 17 by Representative Lamb, relating to municipal audits.
Representative Lamb, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, what you have before you today is a proposal to revise the audit requirements for the small municipalities, raises the limit from $300,000 to $500,000 for audit.
Okay, you've heard the explanation of the bill. Question for the body is the adoption of the BIR. Clerk will unlock the machine and the members will vote. Clerk will lock the machine. Record the votes.
Mr. Speaker, if no further questions, I'd call for final passage.
Something happened. We lost the BIR vote. Let's start all over. Ms. Clerk. Let's clear the board. Okay, we got it now. 100 ayes, 0 nays. The BIR has been adopted. Mr. Lamb.
Mr. Speaker, if there's no further questions, I'd call for final passage.
That is questions. Final passage of HB 17. Clerk will unlock the machine and the members will vote. Clerk will lock the machine. Record the vote. 102 ayes, 0 nays. HB 17 has passed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, gentlemen. Clerk, call next bill.
On page 5 of the calendar, House Bill number 153 by Representative Garrett, relating to county personnel boards.
Chairman Garrett, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the recognition. This is a little bit of an unusual bill. We passed this bill 2 years ago. It was passed both bodies unanimously, and then it was signed by the governor. Since that time, it's been in litigation. What the bill would do would be allow Trustful, the city of Trustful, to opt out of the Jefferson County Personnel Board. The Personnel Board sued. 2 courts ruled in favor of Trustful. Went to the Supreme Court in December or October. They issued a ruling not on the merits of the case, but the question was, should the bill have been advertised? And sent it back to the appellate court to determine the advertising thing. Trustful is a city that about 28,000 people that sits in 2 counties. It was a general bill. We did advertise the first time. What this bill does is simply we're refiling the same bill that's been passed into law, and this time we advertised it. I worked with Senator Smitherman 2 years ago on this bill, and once we came upon this ruling with the Supreme Court, decision of the Supreme Court, I worked with Senator Smitherman again, so we advertised the bill, and we are now just resubmitting in order to avoid ongoing litigation expense.
The chair recognizes the gentleman from Shelby, Representative Mooney.
Thank you, Representative Garrett. It's a great limited government process bill. We've had a lot of things passed today that seem to expand government, and I'm proud to support you on limiting government.
Thank you.
I guess that's a view of opinion, right?
Thank you. Thank you for your opinion. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
As is the lady from Jefferson, Representative Moore.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Just a simple question. Is this bill specifically for Trustful?
It is defined, it's crafted so it only applies to Trustful. A city, it's a Class 8 city of more than 25,000 people that is in 2 counties.
Okay.
That is under a personnel board. Trustful is the only city that currently meets that definition.
That meets that qualification is Trustful. Okay, I just wanted to know because a lot of people want to opt out
Right.
of the Jefferson County Personnel Board, and it probably was a mistake years ago when they all opted in to it because it's been a detriment to them, and I realize that most of them see that now. Thank you so much for that clarity.
Thank you. Chair thanks the lady. Chair recognizes the gentleman from Mobile, Representative Jones.
Speaker, I just wanted to go back over again the class of city.
Yes.
We talked about that. That was a class listed in the bill.
Class 8.
And I think you were relating to me that class of city, but this is different because this was in 2 counties.
Right.
So it just applies to that particular.
Class 8 city with more than 25,000 people in 2 counties. That's right.
Okay, so this is just for 2 counties.
Right.
Thank you.
Chair thanks the gentleman. Chair recognizes the lady from Jefferson, Representative Van.
Yeah, all that mean mugging all the time. I'm through with that. Trying to get to heaven. Danny, Representative Gary, all I was trying to get to, I've forgotten the clarity, but the merits of the case have or have not been decided.
The lower court ruled in Trustful's favor. The appellate court ruled in Trustful's favor. The Supreme Court did not look at the merits. They looked at the argument, should the bill have been
About the
advertised.
advertising. Yeah, I knew it should have been advertised. I said that whenever it was, but I think I questioned it. But we got killed on that advertisement back in the day with that occupational tax. So that's why even with this BRR stuff and the 30 and all that, so that's why I was wondering why that bill wasn't. But that's fine. I don't knock against it. I'm not in favor for people moving out of the Jefferson County Personnel Board, but I know y'all have kind of worked on this, but I just want to know.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Question for the body now is passage of the BR. Clerk will unlock the machine. The members will vote. Clerk will lock the machine, record the vote. 103 ayes, 0 nays. BR has been adopted. Chairman Garrett.
Move for final passage.
That's question final pass of HB 153. Clerk will unlock the machine and the members will vote. Clerk will lock the machine, record the votes. 96 ayes, 0 nays. HB 153 has passed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, body.
Thank the gentleman. Clerk, call next bill.
On page 6 of the calendar, House Bill number 140 by Representative Sells relating to county regulations.
Chairman Sales, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This bill deals with land that's transferred in the county from a father, immediate transfer of family property, whether it be a father or whatever. Right now, there's no the transfer suspends any subdivision requirements that there are. And this bill says for 24 months, those subdivision requirements will be in effect if they want to sell the property or whatever. That's time I asked for BR, Mr. Speaker.
Chair recognizes Representative Hall of Madison.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The gentleman yield.
Yes, ma'am.
Help me to understand. I don't think I have that copy of that bill here. What are we doing?
Okay, so I'll say I live out, this has got to do with the county property. What we're doing.
County property.
County.
Any county or just in your county?
Any county.
Okay.
So what we're doing is we're making county laws kind of equal to city laws, municipal laws, when it comes to family transfers of subdivision property. That's exemptions, family exemptions. And so if I transferred.
What did you say? Family extensions? Family exemption?
There's a family exemption when you transfer some property to your immediate family.
Okay.
And what this does is, like simple way is say, if I give my daughter 30 acres of my land, she could get by subdivision requirements in the county because she's my immediate family, and she can use my driveway, see?
Okay.
Okay, so she.
Take me slow.
Ma'am?
I said, you have to take me slow with this. She gets to, if you transfer it to her, she could still be a part of your property or connected to your property.
Right. Well, let me take this another direction.
Okay.
So in the counties, there's subdivision requirements if you're going to sell some property, right? You sell property, there's got to be access to the property that you sell, right?
Okay.
Well, if you deed land or sell land to your immediate family, there's an exemption where that doesn't apply.
Ah.
Okay. So what this is saying is that you got 24 months that the exemption will be there, but and then we have a sub too that's going to address something else in the bill, and I can tell you about that too. But once you exempt it for that family, if that family member wants to sell the property, they can still sell it. But when they sell it, the subdivision requirements will not be exempt to have to follow the normal procedure for subdivision requirements.
I thought you were about to say if they sold it, they could still follow it as if it's within the family.
Right.
But they must follow the regulations, whatever they may be for that subdivision.
That's right.
Okay, and what's the other change?
The other change, that's what the other change does, is say if they sell it, they can sell it. First bill said that just done where they couldn't do nothing with it for 24 months.
Right.
This says they can sell it, and with the first 24 months, as long as they meet the subdivision requirements.
So they don't have to wait the entire 24 months to do it. If they meet the
Right,
requirements.
and this is just for the first 24 months, right?
No, okay, ordinarily you would have 24 months before you could do anything with it.
Originally, yes.
Right, now you're removing the 24 months.
No, we're saying
they follow-
the 24 months are still there, but if they want to sell it, it's got to meet the normal subdivision requirements that's not related to immediate family.
I got it. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, I have a committee sub. Well, we've got
The question for the body is adoption of the BIR. All in favor vote aye, all opposed vote no. The clerk will lock the machine, the members will vote. Clerk will lock the machine, record the vote. 98 yeas, no nays. The BIR is adopted.
Mr. Speaker, we'll have a committee sub.
We have an amendment coming. Okay. Question for the body's adoption of the sub. All in favor, vote aye. All opposed, vote no. The clerk will lock the machine. The members will vote. Clerk will lock the machine, record the votes. 99 yeas and no nays. The substitute has been adopted.
Mr. Speaker, we have a floor amendment.
Chair recognizes Representative Stubbs from Elmore County.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have a floor amendment to House Bill 140. We are adding one word. This is replacing line 96 of the adopted substitute to read, 24 months of an exempted interfamily transfer shall subject the use of. All we are doing is adding the word interfamily to further protect families and the property transfers as was described by Representative Sells.
Question for the body's adoption of the amendment. All in favor, vote aye. All opposed, vote no. The clerk will lock the machine. The members will vote. Clerk will lock the machine, record the votes. 102 yeas, no nays. The amendment is adopted.
Mr. Speaker, I ask for final passage as substituted and amended.
Question for the body is final passage as substitute amendment. All in favor, vote aye. All opposed, vote no. The clerk will lock the machine. The members will vote. Clerk will lock the machine, record the vote. 101 yeas and no nays. The bill's passed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Bob.
Clerk will call the next bill on the regular order calendar.
On page 6 of the calendar, House Bill number 104 by Representative Blackshear relating to unclaimed property.
Chair recognizes Representative Blackshear.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the recognition. HB 104 is for the Treasury Department. As things change, we needed to update the code around how we handle digital assets when it comes to unclaimed properties. This just identifies and defines what digital assets are underneath the Treasury Department, also defines finders, has their listed and some other things going along with digital assets so we can work through our unclaimed properties process. So that, Mr. Speaker, I ask for the BIR.
Question for the body's adoption of the BIR. The clerk will unlock the machine. The members will vote. Clerk will lock the machine, record the vote. 101 yeas, no nays. The BIR is adopted.
Mr. Speaker, I move for final passage.
Question for the body's final passage of HB 104. The clerk will unlock the machine. The members will vote. Clerk will lock the machine, record the vote. 100 yeas, 1 nay. HB 104 passes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and body.
Clerk, call the next bill on the regular order calendar.
On page 6 of the calendar, House Bill number 77 by Representative Pasco relating to the Department of Revenue.
Chair recognizes Representative Pasco.
Mr. Speaker, thank you. Members, HB 77 is the same bill we passed last session. It's dealing with our veterans. Currently in the state of Alabama, if you're a veteran and you're 100% disabled, you're exempt from paying property taxes. However, when you purchase a home, your property taxes is included in your debt-to-income ratio. So this bill rectified that situation. It created a mechanism where your debt-to-income ratio, where your property taxes is not included in your debt-to-income ratio. So once again, this is the same bill we passed last session. With that, Mr. Speaker, I'll call for a BIR.
Chair recognizes Representative Moore of Jefferson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. For clarity purpose, go over that again with the property tax exemption ad valorem.
Yes, ma'am. Currently, the current law, if you're a veteran and you're 100% disabled veteran, you're exempt from paying property taxes in our state. However, during the purchasing process, they include your property taxes in the debt-to-income ratio calculation. So what that does, it limits our veterans' purchasing power. Sometimes it limits their ability for them even to qualify. And so my bill is going to create a pathway during when you identify a home, you're under contract for a home. My bill allowed that veteran take their proof of disability to your local county tax office, get a certificate, they would take it back to the loan officer, and they would not include the property taxes in the debt-to-income ratio calculation. So
when you're talking about tax exemption for veterans, does it take into the account their income? Because just because you're a disabled veteran does not mean that you can't afford to pay your property tax. Now, I do think there has to be some type of income that's associated with it, and I don't think that it has to be just blanket that because the veteran is disabled that they don't pay property taxes. We got some wealthy disabled veterans, who had that initiative to probably become a small business owner or a large business owner. So is there some type of cap on it, or is it just automatic?
Well, currently with existing law, when you purchase a home, the debt-to-income ratio, you're correct. The lender, they incorporate multiple things in that calculation. And so my bill.
It's already a formula what we have to, because I've done mortgages and the whole 9 yards, but I just don't want the bill to say that there's a blanket, but they're looking at their income ratio to determine whether they're exempted. Do they use that?
Yes, ma'am.
Because there is a formula that's used.
Yes, the only thing my bill is doing is saying our state, which is a great state when it comes to taking care of our veterans, you're currently exempt from paying property taxes.
The ones that are current, that don't mean that all of them are exempted.
Correct.
Just the ones that meet qualification.
Correct, which is 100% disability.
Okay.
Thank you.
Chair recognizes Representative Robertson of Calhoun.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the recognition. Sorry I was late. I just wanted to tell you I appreciate you bringing this for the veterans and everything you do for our veterans. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Chair recognizes Representative Shirey of Mobile.
Okay, let me get this bill straight.
Okay.
These veterans are exempt from paying property tax
If
they meet the qualifications.
Correct.
Okay. But the mortgage companies uses the property tax to determine if they can buy the house.
Correct.
And you're wanting to stop that.
Correct.
Sounds like a great bill. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Question for the body's adoption of the BIR. The clerk will unlock the machine. The members will vote. Has everybody voted? Clerk will lock the machine, record the vote. 99 yeas, no nos. The BIR is adopted.
Mr. Speaker, if there's no further questions, I'll call for final passes.
Chair recognizes Representative Sellers of Montgomery.
Montgomery don't want to claim. You hear that?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Will the gentleman yield?
Oh, yes, sir.
I started to replace my bill with your bill, or your bill with my bill, but
That's okay.
I'm trying to get clarity.
Okay.
Because as a veteran,
Mm-hmm.
100% disabled veteran, I didn't have issue in calculation for loan, especially dealing with property tax.
Okay.
It was already calculated. So I'm trying to get clarity on what this bill actually does or don't do.
Right, okay. Well, since you mentioned that you're 100% disabled, currently you're exempt from paying state.
Exactly.
However, if you go purchase a new home and claim that as your homestead, during the calculation, the loan process, they would include the property taxes in the calculation of your debt to income ratio, even though you qualify to be exempt. So what my bill would allow you to do during the purchasing process, when you come under contract for that new home, you take your disability rating to our county tax office. They will give you a certificate. You take it back to your loan officer. They will no longer include property taxes in your calculation. But here's also something interesting. You make a lot of money, so it probably won't impact you. But we have a lot of veterans, they struggle out there, So that property taxes, if you know Alabama property taxes are very low, it really make a big difference with those veterans that's struggling out there, so.
Okay. I think I got you. All right.
Question for the body's passage of HB 77. The clerk will unlock the machine. The members will vote. Have all the members voted? Clerk will lock the machine, record the vote. 101 yeas, no nays. HB 77 passes. The chair would like at this moment to recognize the Marshall County Realtors who are visiting us in the gallery today. Please stand up. Welcome. Welcome to the Alabama House of Representatives.
Thank you, members.
Mr. Clerk, we're going to call back up House Bill 128.
On page 4 of the calendar, House Bill number 128 with substitute by Representative Lands relating to midwifery.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the recognition and for your patience. We'd passed the BIR, and then I had mentioned that the bill was amended last week in committee, and I can't remember if we moved for final passage of the committee substitute.
We're on the amendment right now.
Okay. Well, he's going to.
Representative Harrison to explain the amendment.
Mr. Speaker, I withdraw the amendment.
The amendment is withdrawn, so we're back to the original bill, HB 128.
With the substitute.
Okay, so the question for the body is final passage of HB 128 is substituted. The clerk will unlock the machine. The members will vote. Clerk will lock the machine, record the vote. 100 yeas, no nays. The bill passes.
Thank you very much.
Chair recognizes the gentleman from Lee, Mr. Lovern.
Mr. Speaker, I move that the House stand adjourned. You already read the announcements. Read the party list. All right. Okay. We've got the Alabama Realtors reception at 4:30 at the Realtors Building. Alabama Installment Lenders Association at 5 o'clock at the RSA Plaza. For tomorrow, we got ALCAP prayer rally at the State House steps at 11:15. Alabama Possible Advocacy Day, Alabama State House, room 602, from 10:30 to 12:30. Alabama League of Municipalities, legislative reception at the Embassy Suites from 5 to 6:30. School Superintendents of Alabama legislative reception at the Warehouse of Alice Station at 5 o'clock. And the Taste of Alabama legislative reception at the Alpha Building from 5 to 7 tomorrow night.
Adjourn.
Now I reopen my move that we adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. All in favor say aye. All opposed?